morning, dear students. Today we will be discussing about the dissection of the peritoneal cavity. We have reflected the anterior abdominal wall, and now you can see this is the parietal peritoneum. These layers you are seeing, these thin layers which have been separated, is the parietal peritoneum, and the peritoneum which is sticking above to the viscera is called the visceral peritoneum. So now once we see the peritoneal cavity, I would like to tell you what is the greater sac and what is the lesser sac. Greater sac is this portion which is visible to you, which lies between the viscera and the anterior abdominal wall, and the lesser sac is a small sac which is present behind and posterior to the stomach and the lesser omentum. Now this apron-like fold of peritoneum which you are seeing here, this is called the greater omentum or the policeman of the abdomen. Now along with the greater omentum, I would like to show you the attachment which is the greater curvature of the stomach. This viscera which you can see here in my hand, this is the stomach. This is the greater curvature of the stomach, and this is the attachment of the greater omentum to the greater curvature of the stomach. Now here deep inside, if we see carefully, we can see the lesser omentum. This lesser omentum is the fold which is attached above to the porta hepatis of the liver. This is the liver you are seeing here. This is the right lobe of the liver, and this is the left lobe of the liver. This is the porta hepatis, and here is the attachment of the lesser omentum between the porta hepatis and the lesser curvature of the stomach. This is the lesser curvature of the stomach. The attachment of the lesser omentum also extends above a little to the esophagus and also extends up to the first part of the duodenum. This is the pylorus of the stomach, and this is the first part of the duodenum. It appears green in color because it has been stained by the bile of the gallbladder. This green color structure that you are seeing here, this is the gallbladder which is stained green, and because it was in contact with the duodenum for a long time, it has also stained the duodenum green. Now here you can see the free border of the lesser omentum. This is the free border. What I am holding between my thumb and the index finger is the free border of the lesser omentum, which has three main structures: the bile duct, the portal vein, and the hepatic artery. See carefully this structure. This is the free border of the lesser omentum, and this is the lesser omentum. Now if I take a probe and try to go posterior to the free border of the lesser omentum, this forceps has entered the epiploic foramen. You can see here I am entering the epiploic foramen or the foramen of Winslow, and this foramen leads to the lesser sac. This lesser sac, as I said, is posterior to the stomach and the lesser omentum. Now after this we will try to see the duodenum. Now as I said, this is the first part of the duodenum, the second part of the duodenum, and the third part of the duodenum. Fourth part is not visible as yet, we'll show you later. And you can see this C shape formed by the three parts of the duodenum. What lies in this C shape? This is the head of the pancreas which you can see. Now you can see a very big space here. This space is known as the right paracolic gutter. This right paracolic gutter, it communicates above with this space. What is this space here? This is the right kidney. My hands are on the surface, anterior surface of the right kidney and the right suprarenal, and this is the liver. This is the inferior surface or the visceral surface of the liver. So this reflection of the peritoneum leads to the formation of the hepatorenal pouch. This is the hepatorenal pouch which communicates with the right paracolic gutter. This right paracolic gutter, as I said, also communicates with the right subphrenic space, which is between the right lobe of the liver and the right dome of the diaphragm. Similarly, there is a left subphrenic space on the left, between the left lobe of the liver and the left dome of the diaphragm. Now there is a structure here which you can see, which is going from the level of the umbilicus, from the anterior abdominal wall to the liver. You can see here this rounded structure. This is the ligamentum teres, and this ligamentum teres is the remnant of the left umbilical vein of the fetal circulation. Now you can see this ligament in which the ligamentum teres is present in its free border. This ligament is called the falciform ligament. This is the falciform ligament. Now after the duodenum, we would like to see the second part of the small intestine, which is the jejunum. This is the jejunum. These are the coils of the small intestine, which you can see here. This is the jejunum. The jejunum continues as the ileum, and this ileum, it terminates at the ileocecal junction and opens into the cecum. This structure that you are seeing is the large intestine. This is the cecum of the large intestine, and this structure that you are seeing is the vermiform appendix. You can see the vermiform appendix here. Now the intestines, as you know, are suspended by folds of peritoneum, which is called the mesentery. Now you can see here, this is the mesentery. This mesentery is laden with fat, and there are blood vessels which are present in the mesentery. Here you can see the attachment of the mesentery. This is the attachment of the mesentery, which has been torn a little bit. This is the attachment of the mesentery. Now in this greater omentum, we start from the cecum again. So this is the first part of the large intestine, the cecum, which continues above as the ascending colon. You can see this. This is the ascending colon. This ascending colon now will continue as the transverse colon. You see here, this is the transverse colon. Here is the transverse colon. This transverse colon now continues as the descending colon here, and this descending colon will now continue as the sigmoid colon. You can see this is the S-shaped sigmoid colon. You can see here, this is the sigmoid colon here. So this is the descending colon, and this is the sigmoid colon, and which is going to be continuous with the rectum in the pelvis. Now similarly, as I showed you the right paracolic gutter, I would like you to see the left paracolic gutter. This is the left paracolic gutter, which is continuous down into the pelvic cavity again. So both the left paracolic gutter is communicating with the pelvic cavity, as well as the right paracolic gutter is also communicating with the pelvic cavity. So this is all I would like to show you for the dissection now. We would continue in the next class. Thank you.